everything's gonna be alright. And when we get there, I'ma see a pretty, pretty, pretty young thing. I'ma ask her to take my hand, head to the floor, and we gon' dance. And when we get there, best believe we're gonna do a two-step. Ain't no drama in here, so don't stress. Step to the right, then side to the left.
Good evening, welcome to the Stephen Knight Show. Hope you're having a wonderful Monday, and hopefully it'll get a little bit better for you right now. Tonight we are back with the latest in sports, fashion, movie reviews, and the best indie music out there. Then later in the show, we welcome the very beautiful and iconic supermodel, Beverly Peele. She was at Fashion Week earlier this year, and people haven't started talking about it yet. So definitely want to hear her story and talk about what's going on now in her life. Then in Hot Topics, we're talking about everything going on. Did you hear about Chris Rock? He posted a meme about Whitney Houston. I think he did it in jest, but Bobby Brown wasn't feeling it and commented on it. Then found out about a thief who tried to break into a Best Buy and accidentally butt dialed himself 911 to the cops. All that and much more in Hot Topics. I want to remind you, we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, and of course our official website, thestephenknightshow.com. You can also check us out on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. Just go to thestephenknightshow.com. When we come back, Hot Topics right back after this.
So we're taking over one time.
Setting, that's the nigga they chasing, but the jupa she jacking. Forget never suffer, suffer, forget never suffer, suffer. I'm relying on the waiting, but I'm in the setting. That's the nigga they chasing, but the jupa she jacking. I said that you pass, she waiting, she checking, she looking like she not know what they are talking. I told her that trouble she causing, the way that she rocking and shaking her to my Onina Fatumata, put it on me like she from Kakatai. All the men and scatter, now Benny, I was in a chocolate. When you tie your lapa and you wear your skin test, when you rocking your tuma, Bange, I want marry you, Chamu, I want take you. Anything you want, I give it to you. Take my name, my money, my car, my clothes, my everything, oh. Suffer, I can never suffer, suffer, I'm relying on the waiting, but I'm in the setting. That's the nigga they chasing, but the jupa she jacking. I can never suffer, suffer, I'm relying on the waiting, but I'm in the setting. That's the nigga they chasing, but the jupa she jacking.
One play you non-see fun, get capping. Like I said before, hungry line blocking. You leave it, another scam and we'll bop it. Grab it, squeeze it with dry face. That the time you will be trying how to catch it. You know you're missing a casa bete. You fix it, 05, trying how to catch it. Then you want speed series now till they get. Pretty girl, let me take you out of dinner. I got a cheddar, forgive me, I was a sinner. Gonna be better from January down to December. Take trips, go to spots even in the winter. So sexy, gorgeous and beautiful. Everything that we do is so memorable. I'm feeling you from your head down to your toes. Don't have to speak on it, I'm gonna show.
I'm relying on the waiting, but I'm in the setting. That's the nigga they chasing, but the jupa she jacking. Forget never suffer, suffer, forget never suffer, suffer. I'm relying on the That's the nigga they chasing, but the jupa she checking.
Anytime she walking, the boy them be watching. Anytime she walking, the boy them be jaking. Baby girl, you temptation. Anytime you turn, girl, you confusion. Baby girl, you temptation. Anytime you turn, girl, you confusion. Baby girl, you blow my mind away. Anytime you turn like way, girl, you make me wanting you tonight. Forget, never, you never suffer.
Setting. That's the nigga they chasing, but the jupa she jackie. Forget never suffer, suffer, forget never suffer, suffer. I'm relying on the waiting, but I'm in the setting. That's the nigga they chasing, but the jupa she jackie.
Felt like this before. This life feels incredible. Together we can do anything. So eternal feels like infinity. Baby, I'd run till the end of time just to have you in my life. Never let go. Give me your hand, come grab a hold. Let me touch you right to your soul. Let's do it together, make it last forever. Let's let it be for all eternity. Till the ends of the earth, I will follow you, girl. Love you forever, forever, forever. Till the ends of the earth, I will follow you, girl. Many girls have come and they have gone, but no one compares to you. Yeah. So baby, I'm trying to make you see our future feels like a fantasy. No doubt this love is here to stay, and I know you feel the same way. Never let go. Give me your hand, come grab a hold. Let me touch you right to your soul. Let's do it together, make it last forever. Let's let it be for all eternity. Till the ends of the earth, I will follow you, girl. Love you forever, forever, forever. Till the ends of the earth, I will follow you, girl. Today I found to be everything you thought you'd ever need. I love you forever. I love you forever. Girl, I love you forever. I promise I'll always be true. 'Cause can't nobody do it like you. I love you forever. I love you forever. Girl, I love you forever. I love you forever. Never let go. Give me your hand, come grab a hold. Let me touch you right to your soul. Let's do it together, make it last forever. Let's let it be for all eternity. Till the ends of the earth, I will follow you, girl. Forever, forever, forever. Till the ends of the earth, I will follow you, girl. Forever.
y'all? It's your main man, Ching-a-Ling, representing. And right now I'm hanging out with my folks, and you're listening to the Stephen Knight Show right here, right there, however you want to do it. Let's go.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Miss Parker, how's it going?
Happy Monday. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Look like you had a good weekend celebrating some birthdays?
Yes. Had a tourist season, so, you know, I'm surrounded by them. It's my friend Shani's birthday was Friday, so she had a dinner and then had dinner at her house with her family, and they invited me. I love her parents. It was great seeing them. Her cousin was in town from New York. And then Saturday night, I went to my friend Mike Nuno's birthday party, which started at midnight.
Yes.
But it was fun. We had a good time. And then yesterday, I just kind of hung out, had brunch, and went to this place called Joystick, which I've never been, but it's an adult arcade, which is great. It's a bar in Edgewood, but they have all the games that we grew up playing.
Oh, wow.
So you can Pac-Man, all those things. So it was pretty fun.
That's good.
Yeah, I had a pretty eventful weekend. How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. It was good. Friday, I just chilled. Saturday, I went to brunch at Hobnob, and then and then a friend of mine, Mike, he had an event last week, and so the charity. Do I have their name in front of me? No, I want to shout them out. But anyway, their charity. Oh, here it is. It's called Omni's House, and they cater to the homeless community. But anyway, they honored him at their event they had at JR Cricket's on MLK, right in the hood. But but it was real nice, and so I did that on Saturday, and then yesterday I just went to Atlantic Station and had dinner. But yeah, it was a cool weekend. There wasn't a lot going on, but it was good because I'm flying out to Oregon tomorrow, so I kind of wanted to go low key, so it was good.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Chicken Evans, how was your weekend?
Weekend was awesome, man. It was pin relays here in Philadelphia, so there was a lot going on this weekend. Even though the weather was a little bad at first, it did turn out to be okay.
That's good.
And of course, when the pin relays are here, it's also a party weekend. I took one night and I partied out.
I saw your haircut. I like the design.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Shout out to Lady Victoria and Lady Barbara.
Nice. All right. Well, our question of the day is, what is your current guilty pleasure? Ms. Parker?
I don't know if I have a guilty pleasure currently.
Okay.
I have always been a gym rat, so maybe my guilty pleasure is working from home. I don't know.
Okay.
I enjoy working remotely. It's not anything that I indulge in too much. Maybe I'll say this. I used to be a person who my love language is quality time. So I love spending time with my friends and family, people who are close to me. That's what I do the most, and that's when I feel most love. When people spend time with me, I spend time with them.
Right.
But most recently, I've been more inclined going out during the day. So I'll say my guilty pleasure right now is maybe day brunches, daytime activities, anything that I can do and hang out with my friends on the day opposed to going out at night.
Yeah.
I prefer to do that. So I do a lot of brunches now. We do a lot of mimosas, a lot of brunches. Also, that's my new guilty pleasure.
Okay. What about you, Chike?
I guess mine would be watching old trash TV. Like old episodes of old shows. Like I'm right now. It was kind of a secret, but since this is the question of the day, old episodes of Melrose Place. I used to really like that show, and they had some great storylines. And it's such trash TV though, and they don't make shows like that anymore.
No. It's funny. When I was in middle school, I guess, when that show was out, I was dating this girl, and she loved 90210 and Melrose Place. And I knew it was a rule, don't call her while those shows are on. She wouldn't pick up the phone. But as soon as it went off, she'd call you right back.
it was that serious.
My guilty pleasure is YouTube. I can literally sit on YouTube for hours, and I'll watch one thing and end up watching a documentary on somebody or end up watching old interviews. And it just be random stuff. But I can do that literally all night. That's when I say put the laptop down, go to bed. You know what I mean? But I love YouTube. But yeah, tweet us at home, Steve and I Show.
You like the kids with that YouTube, aren't you?
Yes, I love YouTube.
Those kids when I get off YouTube, I'm like,
Lord.
Kids love YouTube.
I'll just end up watching random stuff. It'd be the most random stuff. I remember one time I forgot what I was watching. I ended up watching this documentary on Sam Cooke. And I said, oh, okay, I didn't know this story. But then there was controversy behind how he died. So I ended up watching interviews from his family. Then I ended up watching, it was like this whole tangent about Sam Cooke. That's why I listened to his music. It was just, it's random. But yeah, tweet us at home, Steve and I SHO, let us know what is your guilty pleasure. All right, so hot topic. So sadly, today, John Singleton passed away. Complications after his stroke. He was the first African-American nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actor. His career spanned nearly 3 decades. His family said he passed away peacefully, surrounded by his family and friends. Now, he was coming back from Costa Rica. They said he had jet-lined that day, and he was coming back, and he started feeling tingling in his legs. And he checked himself into the hospital when he got back to L.A. But he had privately battled hypertension, as they said, his family said, which is very common in black people. 40% of African-American men and women have high blood pressure, and it develops early in their life, and it's usually more severe. They said his family wanted to share a message about his condition so people can recognize the symptoms at heart.org. The family also revealed something that most people didn't know, and that was about I'm sorry, it wasn't Costa Rica. It was Marina Del Rey that morning. His greatest joy behind making movies was also his boat, J Dream, up and down the Pacific coast. He was married once for a year, but he had 7 kids. He survived by 7 kids and his mom. You know, he did movies such as Boys in the Hood. That was the movie he got nominated for the Oscar. And he did that at 24 years old, right after he graduated college. He also did 4 Brothers, Poetic Justice, Fast and Furious. He did some episodes on People versus OJ. He also has done episodes on Empire. He just had wonderful work done. Ms. Parker, what are your thoughts in the past? I know that you knew him.
No, I met him.
Met him, okay.
And hung out with him for a few hours in Miami.
Okay.
2 years ago, I was there for the Black Film Festival with Mel.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went to Crime 112, which is owned by a friend of mine by the name of Mal.
Yeah.
He's been around for years. And so Mr. Singleton was there, and he had a table entertaining a few friends, but he wasn't in the back or anything. His table was literally when you walked in the bar area, there was a long table set up for him. And my friend Mel is an aspiring actress, so she was so excited.
Yeah.
I had to calm her down. I was like, listen, no one is acting a fool. And go over there, but do it calmly.
Mm-hmm.
So we both went and said hi. He was very generous with his time. He talked to her about the project that she was working on. And I wanted to so she wouldn't be there too long, but she spoke with him for a while. He gave her some encouraging words. He didn't seem rushed or anything. He was there the whole time we were there. We were there probably 2-3 hours. He mingled with people in there. We mingled with us. Just really down. I hate using the word down to earth because I think everyone should be humble no matter who they are.
Right.
But just seemed like a person who wanted to connect with people who were around him. But Mel and I actually just texted about this, and she was like, "Yeah, it's just horrible," because her experience with him was so pleasant.
Right.
But I remember thinking to myself, he doesn't look 49, and because I looked it up because I wasn't. He looked really old in person,
mm-hmm.
so I wasn't sure, and I looked it up, and he was 49. And I hate to do this at the time that his friends and family are grieving, and my deepest and most sincere condolences. But I really want to tell us, Black folks, especially if you're in the entertainment business, if you're in the industry or any industry that is a high-stress industry, you have to be mindful of self-care. You cannot live your life every day in the space of entertaining. The drinking, the smoking, that lifestyle is not going to sustain you.
Mm-mm.
I just, I can just tell from interacting with him that he's a fun person. but he probably has fun all the time. He probably was out all the time. He didn't look healthy to me. And I remember having that concern and speaking about that with Mel, and then today when we heard, we both texted about that.
Yeah.
I just want to reiterate that. And when I was driving home from the gym a few minutes ago, somebody else said that. They were like, we have to be mindful of taking care of ourselves. Because he was 51 years old.
Yeah, 51.
He didn't look his age.
No.
I have cousins and people around me who are, 55, 57, 58, and they're in, amazing shape because not just physical shape, but health-wise. We have to remind people, legends and stuff that we love, that it's okay not to be entertainer at all the time. It's okay for you to have a life that sustains you long term because we need you here. Like we just lost a legend and a great mind.
Yeah.
Somebody who has given so much to not only the film industry but to our culture.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really sad. I just wish he had someone who was around him and say, "Listen, we need you here. We really need you. Losing you would be, not just devastating to your fans and your family, but to the culture and to your legacy of who you are. You have just so much more to add."
Yeah.
I just wish that somehow he had received that message, but I'll let Chike. I know he probably have a few things to add since he's in that industry.
Yeah. Chike?
Yeah, that was a tough one, man, because John was one of the ones I looked up to.
Yeah.
I was in high school when Boys in the Hood came out, and I remember just how it affected me. And I heard how young he was,
Mm-hmm.
just being 24 and coming out with such a smash movie like that, like the brilliance behind it.
Yeah.
And I remember he's not so much older than me, and I always looked up to him for that.
Yeah, yeah. And they said one thing about him, when he would write his scripts, he wouldn't let anyone look at him. He was very protective over it, very private. He didn't want people directing his films, and that just speaks to the mastermind he was. But definitely keeping his family and his fans all over the world in our thoughts and prayers at this horrible time. I also want to send prayers towards Larry King and Peebo Bryson. They both had, Peebo Bryson had a heart attack. He's in the hospital right now. And Larry King, apparently he's had issues with his heart for like 20 years. He's had 2 heart attacks. And they were saying that he had a heart attack recently, but his reps came out and said it wasn't actually a heart attack. It was some other thing that had to do with his heart. And they were able to put stents in it. And they successfully did that. And he should be out on Monday. So just thoughts and prayers with both of those gentlemen as well.
Yeah, and really questions with people. I saw him last April actually. My friends After 7 was performing here at a art and cultural event.
Yeah,
so he did most of the opening and he put on the show. He was one of the people who came up with the idea, I guess, of the show. They were raising money for something.
Okay.
People browse he was so energetic, sharp as can be. Do you know he had a newborn baby? He had a baby that was like 2 weeks old.
Wow.
And his wife is actually younger than I am. I think 29 or something. But I hope for his family's sake, he have a newborn baby. The baby is 1 year old now, probably. Last April. And so I'm sure that she needs her father, and then also his older children. And he just had a great energy about him. He was still doing all of the dances from way back, and his voice is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great show. He put on a great show. He had all the pep in his step, and very sharply dressed, and the old ladies out there were falling out over him. It was just really great to see that. So I really hope that he's able to pull through, and obviously Larry King as well, that they're both able to pull through.
Yeah. Him and his wife were actually featured on. Oprah had on the OWN network. She had this show. I forgot what it was called, but it was based on this bed and breakfast. This woman that owned bed and breakfast, and him and his wife came and visited. For some time while they're on there, and he seemed like a really nice guy. And yeah, he looked great. We gotta just take care of ourselves. You know what I mean? But definitely praying for both of them. All right, so here's a story. It's kind of disturbing. So, I'm sorry, not this story. So remember when Clemson won the football team won the tournament, and it was during the government shutdown, and Trump, he invited them to the White House, and he gave them fast food, McDonald's, Wendy's, and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And of course the internet went crazy over that. he said the reason why he did it is because he thinks that's what the kids love. And, the kids really didn't, the players really didn't mind. He called them kids, didn't mind. Well, recently, it was the Lady Bears at Baylor. They won the NCAA tournament earlier this month. And the White House invited them, again, and he had the same food. And again, the players really didn't, they weren't upset. But there's this picture going around of their coach, Coach Moakley. She looked disgusted looking at their food. She looked
What did he give them this time?
Same thing, Wendy's, McDonald's, and all that. But Burger King, she looked disgusted looking at that at the table. I'm going to send you the picture. But if you see that, go on TMZ. Her name is Kim Mulkey. And they say her face said it all. Said it all. They really did.
So I don't understand. Why would you give an American athlete the trashiest food that this nation has to offer?
Exactly.
So disrespectful.
It is disrespectful. Ms. Parker, I know, you eat healthy. What would you do if you wanted the players and you showed up at the event?
I wouldn't go, but I wouldn't go.
Right, period, yeah.
No, I wouldn't go.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. All right, so this is the story I was saying that was just disgusting. So over the weekend, Chris Rock posted a meme. It was a picture of Whitney Houston, and it had it's a picture of people use it for different memes, but it's her sitting in the chair. It's like in the 90s. She's sitting in the chair with sunglasses on, looking kind of like ready to go. And so he posted, and it said something like, the post says, when you're in a meeting and you're ready to go. And he wrote underneath the meme, I have crack to do. And so Bobby Brown commented on the post, and he said, during this time of empowerment, you choose to use your time to try and humiliate our queen. And he also said something about, I thought you were a friend of the family. And so a lot of other people commented, say it was a horrible joke. It wasn't funny. It was nasty. And he later deleted it. So what are your thoughts? I mean, people are quick to cancel people, or do you think it was just a bad joke? Because I was watching the show today, and someone said, well, the fact that he did delete it, that says something. What are your thoughts, Ms. Parker?
Social media can be very judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
So, deleting it really wasn't admitting to anything or feeling bad about anything. He probably just wanted it to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Tough one.
Yeah. Chica?
Seems a little, again, disrespectful. It's a lot of disrespect floating around these days. Me personally, I just thought it was bad taste. I wouldn't have done anything like that to Whitney and her family.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of comics, they don't believe there are any boundaries, but I was watching Cheryl Underwood. She's on the talk, and she was talking about it, and she, she's friends with Chris Rock, and so she was defending him, but she said that as a comic, a lot of times you put your foot in your mouth, and so she said she didn't want to say anything negative against him because she knows she's done it. But she said the one thing that she knows that she won't do, she thinks about before she makes certain jokes, if it were my family member, or how would I feel? And so, yeah. I mean, I'm glad he deleted it, but yeah, that was definitely not a good joke. All right, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with a couple more hot topics right back after this.
Baby, if you only knew things that I wanted to do to you when we first met, thinking like the boys do, then you got me with my nose wide open, tables turned, now I'm the one who's overprotected. I see them looking when they pass, what I'm gonna do with all that ass? Your beauty is unmatched, I can't help it, I got it bad. I am just human, and I'm possessive, a bit jealous, so you better tell them that you are taken, there is no mistaking. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. hotel and finish. Feeling on your body, grinding on me slowly. But if we take it there, just know you're mine. And I belong to you, no matter what we do. Don't ever get confused. Whoa, I'll lose my mind if we take it too far. And I know you're just a flirt. I don't wanna make things too hard. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. If they try and holler, let them know that I'm the truth. You got something special you can't find in any other dude. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. Don't you know that you're mine? Try it out, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. You're only mine. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine.
And it's alright. It's like days go by, and I really be asking myself, is it alright? Lost for words, lost of speech. I remember that morning, lots of grief. I remember that warning y'all should teach. Now all I want is lots of beef, and I don't mean jerky. You need to feel the same pain that you serve me. I'm talking to my enemy, them. I would hate to be my enemy, them. 'Cause when you thinking you get away with some wickedness, is coming, my friend. Wait, I love you 'cause demon feel a little late. You and Reem argued, think it was in 08. It don't matter who was robbing, I never took sides. We all brothers till we die, this is all fate. Remember when you said steak and vanilla shakes? Your spirit live on, the glory of a heavyweight. Looking on me in the eye, see you in your daughter's eyes. Wish your daddy was alive. I'm lost for words, and never be the same with a name that you never would've thought died. But it's alright, you can't do good, you can't be nice, you can't live life. I'm lost for words, and never be the same with a name that you never would've thought died. But it's alright, you can't do good, you can't be nice, you can't live life. It's a cold world. I ride around the city, me and old girl. Them little white things, you can call them cold pearls. See, it's only you and I. Remember J's used to order only number 9, but things change. I'm on the people that I lost, seems insane. I don't care if fan one is too many. The side of black males porn, I any is so common. Now it's cool the way you hear like Robin, a new day. I'm looking at this world in a new way. Used to walk around with the hammer up at Juve. It's like a movie, but in the end it's life. Shots ring, I know it hit. That's a cool day. My dude was cool, man. He made a new lane. But you did the core, ain't human. I already know your mother's dying inside and make it hard when I look in her eyes. I'm lost for words, and never be the same with a name that you never would've thought died. But it's alright, you can't do good, you can't be nice, you can't live life. I'm lost for words, and never be the same with a name that you never would've thought died. But it's alright, you
This is Beverly Peele, and you're listening to The Stephen Knight Show.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. I want to remind you, we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, and of course our official website, thestephennightshow.com. You can also go on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Just go to our website. Now, a lot of people reach out to me about being on the show. The best way to submit your information is to send us an email to submissions@thestephennightshow.com. Or, Chike, what's your email?
Chike.evans@thestephennightshow.com.
Those are the best ways to get on the show. All right. So, Blac Chyna. So, she sent a note out saying that acceptance letter out saying that she had been accepted to Harvard's online business class. Because, I don't know if you know, but recently she had said that a lot of people know her for being Blac Chyna and that she wants people to see that she is more than that, and she wanted to kind of change her image and change, the perception of people. And so then she puts out this acceptance letter for Harvard's online business class. But soon after, it turned out it was fake. So today, TMZ, it turned out it was fake.
What are you doing, baby? What is you doing?
So today, TMZ revealed why Harvard came out against this, because they said that Harvard's board of alumni say that he received numerous calls from fuming alumnus who wanted the school to take action as they had been lobbying against the online business course for some time now. The outrage is said to have caused the school to investigate to ultimately outing, Chyna lied. It said that the PR firm offered to take class on Chyna's behalf for just $1,000. So, what are your thoughts?
I don't. But do we know why she did it? I'm so confused.
They didn't say why she did it. I think she's trying to change her image, but I would think. That's easy to determine that she's not in the school.
To verify.
Yeah, to verify. Yeah.
She's doing that because Kim and this whole law thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the way you can change your image by doing something truthfully, like maybe enrolling in school. It doesn't have to be Harvard. It could be a regular school, and people would have been proud of her. I just think people are just. Honestly, I think people, especially these social media people who got famous through social media or through the social media era, I think they would do anything for likes.
Mm-hmm.
I think literally their self-esteem lies on the line. Like, they would risk their lives. They are willing to die for likes.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think this is more of that. It's more of what can I do so people can see me better? What can I do? Like, they're not living for them anymore. They don't have that will to find their happiness from within and not rely on how can I, get more likes on social media, or how do I feed my, ego through social media. And it's just really sad.
Yeah, I agree. Chike?
This seems like that picture of the snake eating itself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's recoiling within itself. So it's like you want people to take you differently, but we only can take you by what you give us.
Yeah, it's true.
And then, like, here we go again, and you're trying to fraud one of the most elite schools in this country. But you want us to think about you differently. I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. So, Beverly Peele, she's on the show tonight. And when I interviewed her last week, she said that she just can't get down with the whole social media thing. She's on Instagram, just got on Instagram, but her daughter runs her account. Her daughter is an influencer on Instagram. And her daughter says, you need to post this. But she said, I grew up in the era that we didn't have to do all that. We would just go experience it, have a good time, take some pictures, but we didn't have to post play-by-play everything we were doing. And, obviously that's the time we're in now, but I do think there has to be a balance. They have these...
but see...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, in Beverly's business, and even in certain forms of show business, there's a such thing as overexposure.
Yeah.
You can't be seen. Like, where's the mystery anymore?
Right.
It's too much.
Yeah. They have these companies, and they always soliciting me, but they, you can actually pay a subscription, and they get you new followers and likes and all that, based on what you're looking for. And so, they're saying now that Instagram's gonna start exposing the real likes, because sometimes there'll be fake likes from fake accounts. they're going to start exposing the likes. And so they said these influencers, so-called influencers, are up in arms. Yes, they are really mad.
So Stephen, let me ask you a question since we're talking about this. Have you had any of those posers approach you? Because we're in this business and we're on the podcast.
Oh, all the time.
Everything. I've had people,
all the time.
wanting me to buy likes and everything because I have a following.
Yep.
But I'm committed to organically growing if that's what's going to happen. I don't want to buy anything.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, I did sign up for one of the services for the show to help grow us on Instagram. And it's not, I mean, it was fake accounts. And they said they promoted it as organic accounts, real people. But it was fake accounts because you would get like 50 new followers, but in 2 days it'd be back to normal. You know what I mean? So I canceled it. All right, our last story. This is real funny. So there were 2 or 3 burglars. They were trying to break into Best Buy in Texas. And it was 3 o'clock in the morning. And so they broke in. And one of the burglars actually butt dialed 911. And so, yes. And so when the call was made, the operator answered, 911. And there was no noise. So they pinged the phone, thinking it might be an emergency. And at the same time, the security went off at Best Buy. So the police get there. The guys go on a high-speed chase for 40 minutes, reach over 120 miles an hour, but they were caught. When they were caught, they found laptops and other electronics in the truck. 911. Why would 911 be on your speed dial?
You know what, though? It may be an emergency thing.
Oh, yeah.
I think a lot of those stories have 911. It was on his phone.
On his cell phone, but it is a thing. If you get locked out your phone, you can make emergency calls to 911.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a fool.
That is a fool.
Either way.
That was nobody but Jesus.
Right. He needed to be caught.
Exactly.
Saving his life.
Well, listen, Ms. Parker, as always, thank you for Hot Topics. Have a wonderful week, and check out some movie reviews.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Right back after this.
Doctor
It's been a long time coming out. I overcame all the drama now. I'm going strong on my bounce back. My setback got me on track. Now every day it's a new task. Face my fears covered up underneath the mask. I had to ease my mind from the crazy shit, adjusted for the perfect fit. Scars from my past, split surrounded with the counterfeit. All I need in this life is me. No stress, no pain, feel free. Look around, up and down, can't you see? All I need is me. Let me catch the grips, control my attitude, let me lock my lips. And when they pop the clips, I push the anchor down, then I rock the ship. Yo, I been smoking steady, tripping, get the sipping. Told them, listen, I ain't ready for the petty. When I dodge it, I stay ready. Fatal, humble, keep it heavy, stay low key. Call me shady, I ain't with it. Tell them critics, I ain't with it. It was kinda hard for me to see. Dreaded pain turn to misery. Lack of love in the families. Jealousy from my enemies. I had to keep it going. Shoulder weight maxed out, keep it flowing. Then I rise above it. Bragging rights, longer nights, I put nothing for it. Chuck. All I need in this life is me. No stress, no pain, feel free. Look around, up and down, can't you see? All I need is me. All I need in this life is me. No stress, no pain, feel free. Look around, up and down, can't you see? All I need is me. Yeah. All I need is. Ain't nobody out here living for me. 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 Ain't nobody out here living for me.
All I need is me. All I need in this life is me. No stress, no pain, feel free. Look around, up and down, can't you see? All I need is me.
Hi, this is Dr. Heavenly from Bravo TV's Married to Medicine, and you are listening to The Stephen Knight Show.
Welcome back to The Stephen Knight Show. Our guest tonight is not only an iconic supermodel and actress, but also talented idol in TV shows, magazines, and on the radio. Now, recently she returned to the spotlight and walked the runway to the delight of critics and fans alike at the Paris Fashion Week show, courtesy of Tommy Hilfiger and Zendaya. Please help me welcome the iconic and beautiful Beverly Peele. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I definitely appreciate you taking time out your schedule. I've been a fan. There's so many people that are fans of yours. You look back at your career. It's like, when you go back, what do you think? What goes through your mind?
Oh my goodness, a million things. When I look back, I've got over a decade, over 2 decades in it. So it's one of those take your pick what kind of things if you can imagine it, I'm thinking it.
Right, exactly.
But in hindsight and at the age I am now, I respect my work and I'm truly blessed and I'm grateful that I still have the opportunity to do what I do. I know there was a time in my life where I was just like, when I first started, I was 12 and a half when I started and made my first million at like 14 years old. And
wow.
At that age, you're like, I was just traveling the world doing what I was supposed to do. They told me to get on a plane. I got on a plane. I told me to, pose in front of a camera. I did that, and it was fun. It was like fun and after-school activity, and I didn't realize that I had what I had until I got much older, and I realized the value of it and how, I opened the doors for other women and other young inspiring models, even people in different walks of life, and it really makes me feel honored to have that title, iconic. That's a huge thing. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. It is greatly appreciated. Many years of work that I can say has paid off.
Yes.
That, so,
well, you definitely earned it. You definitely earned it.
Thank you.
So when did you said that, initially you were just doing what you were asked to do. You kind of, weren't taking it in, what you were setting the pathway for. When did you start realizing, okay, wow, I'm doing some big things here? When did that start to cross your mind?
It's probably when I was like 18 or 19.
Okay.
After I had my first child, I realized that, she doesn't come with rechargeable batteries and that this being is real. And then it just made me look at life differently, having a daughter. And now I have 4 children. But my first child, it made me look at life differently and kind of, okay, you know what, I'm not going to be late for work. Okay, I'm not going to take this for granted. I have this little thing that wants to eat and pee and play, and she's going to grow up and she's going to be like this. And I just know how I looked at my mother, who I thought was the smartest woman in the world, and I wanted that for my daughter. I wanted to be fun. I wanted to be responsible and all that stuff. So it hit me probably around 18, 19, in my 20s, and then it was just like, I got on a plane one day and got off in Milan, and all of a sudden I was a supermodel Beverly Peele, and it was like I didn't even really know what that was because I didn't want to be a model. I wanted to be like a dancer or a plumber or something like that. The modeling was not really in my. I didn't grow up playing with Barbie dolls. I was a big tomboy, so I didn't really foresee any of this. It just kind of happened, and that being said, it was more like, okay, well, what else can I do then? I make like $50,000 in one day, and I just have to put on clothes and have fun in front of a camera and play dress up. Even though I didn't like dress up, but it was just fun. It was like traveling all over the world, and then when I realized when I went to a friend's house, a friend of a friend, I think I was 22, and they had me on their walls.
Oh wow!
And I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, that would be.
Actually, no, I'm lying. I was driving, I was doing a photo shoot in the desert, and it was one of those gas stations where, like, the people sit outside and they're spitting tobacco into that little, like, can, and they got, like, dog picker gnats all around, and there was a picture of my calendar was in that that gas station. That's when I realized. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of nowhere and this man has my calendar.
That has to be crazy.
I was like, okay, I'm big time.
Yeah, you know you had made it then, huh? You definitely had made it.
You gotta have your pinup calendar in the middle of nowhere with the guy spitting out tobacco. Lord only knows what he's doing to that calendar, you know.
Exactly. Now that's the thing you got to worry about. No. But so, how did you said that wasn't something, model wasn't something that you pursued, but you started at 12. How did you get started?
It was an after school activity. My mother put me in everything possible. I had piano lessons. I was in dance. I was in track and field. I was on the swim team. I had tennis lessons. I had golf lessons. I had horseback riding. I had everything. And I think I hated my piano lessons. So there was like an hour that I didn't have anything to do except probably homework, but my mom was like diligent about giving me every opportunity possible to figure out what I wanted to do. And she put me in this etiquette class because, like I said, I was a big tomboy, and she wanted to make me a nice young lady and serve tea at her little tea parties and her bridge parties and stuff, and wear little dresses for cotillion and all that whatever garbage. And that evolved into like every Saturday we would put on clothes in the department store and model the clothes. And then that evolved into the juniors competing against the other juniors from a different, department store. This was back when Bullock's and Robinson's Make Company was around.
Yeah.
And then that evolved into like a competition, and then the competition was, and whoever won that won the entry into this thing called IMTA, which is short for International Model and Talent Association. And I wanted to win in dance so bad. Like I rehearsed and practiced for dance and everything else. Like, competitions are like, money pits for parents because it's like $500 to enter in this category, $500 in this one, and they have commercial print, high fashion print, blah, 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 like all these made up categories. And my mom put me in every single one of them and dance, and I came in first place in everything except dance. Dance, I came in third place, and it was like literally people from all over the world. You had agents, every agency would fly in for this thing. They still have it going on. And it's like one of the biggest competitions to be seen and get your start. It's still today. And they have this thing called go-backs, castings, like where the agents recommend you or they call for you. And I got called by literally every single agency, which is like 42 agencies.
Wow.
And just one agency did. It was like an agency in Australia. They didn't call. I didn't get a callback with them, but I was like super busy going to these callbacks, and the lady who ran the competition was like, she's never seen that before, and blah blah blah. So that's how I got started. It was like a little accident, just to get me, fill in the hour for my piano lessons, and my mom just. I think my mom, but she lived vicariously through me. And it made her happy, and you didn't want to mess with my mama. Like, she did not want to make this woman. Getting an A is like getting an F. I had to get all A pluses.
Yeah.
Like, my parents were very strict and very, very. I was very fortunate. I was adopted, so I was very fortunate to be blessed with the family that I was raised with, and she did everything for me. She
That's
was
awesome.
The best woman in the world. Yeah.
That's
I hope I can give my kids that, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm more fun though. I'm not a badass like my mom. Unfortunately, today's kids, they walk all over parents.
They sure do.
Okay, honey, just don't cry. Don't just be quiet. Whatever you got, keep her quiet. Keep her quiet. Whatever you want this, you want that. So, but my kids, I'm a pushover. But yeah, so that's how I started. It was an accident.
And then turned to an icon.
It turned into something that I was good at.
Awesome.
I loved being it's like acting with no words.
Yeah. It is.
And,
it is.
A lot of people think that it doesn't take a lot. Oh, just stand in front of. But it's a craft. You have to really know what you're doing. And I always give advice to young models: just remember that you are a walking hanger. You are basically selling clothes. They don't want you for your personality until later on when you start hosting and doing other things that branch off. But at first, you're just their muse. You're a hanger for fashion shows. You're a walking hanger, so there's a certain way you have to walk. Don't overtake, that kind of stuff. And I taught myself that from watching the icons before me, like Beverly Johnson and Iman and Naomi Campbell and stuff like that. Like I just kind of was quiet. I was rambunctious, but I was quiet, and I just watched people and just kind of like learned.
You were a
I had to grow up really fast.
Yeah. Especially at that age, But let me ask you. So now we see a lot of Instagram models, and people are getting these endorsements and getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars just to, wear this on Instagram.
I'm sorry, I have no respect for Instagram.
That's what I was going to ask you. Yeah. For someone who put in the hard work. So what are your thoughts on that?
I'm barely getting into this whole technology thing. I took off many years to raise my kids,
right.
And I'm getting back into it now. And it's like a totally different world. It's like literally, I don't understand why people would want to have their everything that they put in their mouth on online, and letting people know where they're at, and letting people know when they're not going to be home, and my daughter just said about like all that stuff is just public access to the public. I don't like that. So I'm kind of anti whatever, but I have to get in line with everything and fall in line because that's the way everything is run. Everything is digital and everything's social media. But I think that the models that Photoshop themselves and they do their little, photo shoot in front of their garage and okay, great, you're creative. I give them the creativity, but that they don't. Everybody's so plastic, and they all got lips and boobs and eyelashes, and the true beauty, to me, to be beautiful, cute, sexy, gorgeous, and knockout. Those are all different categories. Everybody can be, pretty.
Right.
But to be beautiful is something different. To be exquisite is something different. And to me, that's what makes a model and somebody who's worldly and travels the world. And not just because you got a big ass, and some big boobs, and your lips look like, Kim Kardashian, and now you're, supermodel all of a sudden. I've met so many. They're like, "Oh, supermodel." I'm like, "Who? Where? When? Like,
how?
Who are you?"
How? Right.
Right. So I don't have any respect for that. I mean, my daughter is one of. She's not fake or anything like that, but she's a. What do they call it?
Influencer.
Influencer, and she's got like millions of followers, and me on my Instagram, honestly, until about 6 months ago, I literally have a really small amount of followers, but everybody that's following me, I know them personally.
Yeah.
And my daughter's like, "Oh, you can't do that." I'm like, well, I thought that was the whole point of it.
Unfortunately, not.
You can be in touch, but it's not anymore. And now it's like you have to post at a certain time, and you can't post on this day, and then you have to caption and talk back and answer. And I'm horrible at that.
It's a
I'm
job.
horrible. Like my daughter, it is a job. Like now I understand because she came to me a while ago. And she's like, I need a social media manager, agent, and I was like, social what?
I didn't even know they had those.
What? Yeah, they do. They really do, and it's crazy because it's like, okay, not only now, okay, people have managers, agents, this, that, and the third, but now there's a social media agent.
Right.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? But that for people who get endorsed, like my daughter gets stuff sent to her all the time from people who just want her to post it and all that stuff, and I get it. I understand that the whole domino effect. That's great, and I'm starting to get more into it. I just don't post pictures because my life is personal. I'll post, modeling stuff or whatever if I'm doing something, but that too shall come. I have my publicist who's wonderful, and she is helping. She's guiding this old lady here. She's guiding me along the line of trying to come into age with technology and the social media thing. But yeah, I don't have any respect right now for Instagram models, and they can all send me DMs and hate me, whatever. I'm sorry. Y'all need to put in the work.
Yeah, no, I agree. Especially speaking of someone that's done as much work as you've done, in the industry. But let me ask you.
I mean.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was saying,
Yeah,
I agree with you basically.
yeah. How is it like? Because I've heard a lot of supermodels been asked this, and women, they typically have to deal with this more than men in some cases. How is it like aging as a supermodel? Like how
aging?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Were you saying I'm old? No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
not at all.
No,
not at all.
I'm just kidding. No, you know what the funny thing is when I did this fashion show for Tommy Hilfiger, which I love Tommy. We go way, way back.
Mm-hmm.
I was honored to do that, and it was so much fun because I hadn't hit the runway in like 15 years. Like my boys, I have 2 boys and 2 girls. My oldest is 25. I have a 15-year-old, 8-year-old, and I have a 2-year-old. And my 15 15-year-old, he doesn't know he is Supermodel Beverly Peele.
Exactly.
Like even today, I just moved to Atlanta, and we're looking at houses, and this realtor was like, she asked me my name, and I said, I spelled my last name, and she was like, Peele, that sounds familiar. And then I told her my first name, and she was like, oh my God, are you the model Beverly Peele? I was like, and my son is like, what? Like, he doesn't get it. And I'm just like, boy, it's only new. So wait, what was the question? I totally forgot. I got off track.
Oh, that's okay. Now I was asking you, how is it for
aging,
you personally?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that it's I'm a very shy person, and I'm not one of those overly confident. I'm very, not insecure, but I care about how I look, but at the same time, I don't care.
Okay.
But I don't. Oh, that's what I was saying about the fashion show. Is all these, I know people go get these dye sport, Botox, like all these shots.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a facial in my life.
Yeah.
And now looking at myself, because I did the fashion show for the past month, I've literally been in the mirror like, oh my God, am I getting a line? Am I getting?
Oh, really? Really?
And I'm comparing myself to my pictures, of course, but I was 18 in my 20s and
right.
early 30s. But, so I don't really compare the weight of that. I'm a woman now. I have a woman body. I have 4 kids. I'm, I'm healthy, but I have noticed myself actually critiquing my looks, and I never did that in my life. I'm like, do I need to go get see about these shots? My daughter's like, no, and I'm like, you're right, no.
Yeah.
Questioning that because everybody looks like these perfectly no wrinkles face. I don't have any wrinkles, but I'm aging with grace. Is what I
exactly.
I love the fact that I'm 44 years old, and I love the fact that
which is young.
Which is young. 44 years young. Yeah. And I love it. I love saying that I have 4 kids. I love the fact that I'm older and not young. I don't have that insecure thing yet. I hope I don't. We're all human.
Yeah.
But I definitely I don't believe in getting anything done to my face or my body because it's just not natural, But I did have the question when I'm looking at all these young
of course.
girls. I'm just like, oh my goodness, maybe I could go get a little. But I think that's probably the only thing that I have noticed in my aging process is the last month, and it's only because of the fact that I was around all these other people and not my kids. But I love aging. Of course, the angel wings and the arms and the muscles kind of turn into mush, that kind of thing. But that's in a couple of years.
Right.
I still got my perky body.
Exactly. So you mentioned, we talked about the Paris Fashion Week with Tommy Hilfiger. How was that experience? Because so many of the women, the models, different ages, sizes, they all came out. How was that experience?
It was the most amazing show that I've done in my career.
Yeah,
as far as casting wise, they cast it. It was beautifully cast. It was all ethnicities of black, you know, and for a younger generation to see that there's so many different colors of black.
Exactly.
It's not just African American or black.
Right.
You have Dominican. You have so many different countries in Africa. You have different all over the world. There are women of color, and it was represented there. And Zendaya, she's such a sweetheart. My son has the biggest crush on her, but Zendaya and Tommy, I was just like, wow, this is amazing. And it was a great reunion.
Yeah,
Tyra was sitting in the front. She was in the audience, literally right at the end of the runway, and I saw her. And looking back at the show, I'm like, oh my God, why did I was blowing kisses to her and smiling, and I'm like, I missed my opportunity to actually do my thing. I was so I was waving to all the fans and waving to all the people I recognized, and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen that person in 15 years. And,
exactly.
And I literally hung out till probably 4 a.m. with a girlfriend of mine that we used to model and cut up back in the day. We used to get in so much trouble together. So it was amazing in that aspect, and just the fact that she had so many icons, and it's inspiring. It's inspiring to see that there's still a positive approach to accepting our culture, you know,
Exactly.
and because it's always going to be a battle,
Yeah.
you know, and I just like the fact that normally when I would do fashion shows, it was only 2 black girls. It was me and
Exactly.
Naomi. That was
Exactly.
it, you know.
Yeah.
We were the token black girls instead of the token white, you know, and there was not one white woman in the fashion show, and there was plus size models, my size, skinny, like really, really skinny, and then invisible.
Right.
Like from scale invisible all the way up to the plus size. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. There was no judgment. There was no nothing. It was just beautiful. Mind you, they had to go get me, like me, Beverly Johnson and myself, they had to get us shorter heels, not so high, because, and here I am, I was born in heels, and I used to do, like, go jogging in heels. I would never take my heels off.
Wow.
But now that I'm older, you know, and my hips and my knees,
Exactly.
you know, girls,
Yeah, wear and tear.
Girls are listening, take care of your stuff, your knees and your hips, because it's a doozy. But they had to go get us shorter heels because I could not walk in those shoes. They were like stripper shoes. I was like, okay. I feel old. But then I saw Beverly, and I was like, okay, she's way older than me, and she looks amazing. And she's okay, I don't feel bad, you know.
Yeah, well, you all look beautiful and got nothing but great rave reviews from the show, which I thought was amazing. Did it give you the bug to get out there more often, like on the runway?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to do, like, you know, special things like, you know, if I'm like I have to be the center of attention, of course.
Of course.
But, I mean, I'm not to get back out there and go on castings and go do the whole cattle call and all that stuff that I did when I first started. No, I don't. But I do miss that attention as far as like on the runway. I loved doing fashion shows. That was one of my favorites, more so than photo shoots. But I just love traveling, and that was why the only way to travel was to do the photo shoots. You know, of course, the money and all that. But I definitely want to get, you know, do some more shows.
That'd be nice.
And I got a lot of great feedback that I wasn't even expecting. Like I said, I literally just moved to Atlanta, and I got the call about 2 weeks after I arrived in Atlanta. And I was like, okay, kids, I'll be back. They're like, wait, what? And I went, and there was like, my son was like, what? You're going to do a fabulous who? No, you're not Tommy Hilfiger. And he was hitting me up on the on WhatsApp, like, Mama, I see you. You know, I guess he was paying attention. So that, you know, as long as my kids are proud of me, that makes the whole world worthwhile, you know?
Exactly.
But it was definitely, I definitely want to get back out of this. Anybody who wants to hire Beverly Peele, just, you know, call up my publicist.
Well, I'm sure it wouldn't be hard for that. Now, let me ask you, so, you know, outside of Runway, doing more shows like that, where else would you, because you've done movies, you've done television, you've done videos, what else would you like to see your career go in your next chapter?
Well, I'm going to be working on my book.
Awesome.
I don't know if it's going to be memoirs or self-help or what direction I'm going yet, because, you know, we've all had our bumps in the road. And, if I am still here with the head on my shoulders and I'm not like in some insane asylum, then if I could do it, anybody can do it. And it's been a journey and a process, you know, along the way. And I want to share my story as well as share the work that I've done and the stories and it's exciting.
Experience.
You know, it's sad. It's got like every emotion. And so I'm working on that. And then, I want to do more movies, really.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do more acting. I want to do like action, like how Angela Bassett was a badass black lady on the screen.
Yeah.
That's how I want to see myself, you know, doing stuff like that and opening up my own placement agency and having my own perfume.
Nice.
And, you know,
nice.
A whole bunch of stuff is in the works, you know. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's a good thing because there's money in the bank for the kids, and I got to get a car for my son. Soon, you know, all that kind of stuff. So.
Well, you're definitely in the right city.
Georgia is like way different than Cali.
Oh yeah.
That's why I had to move here because he told me he's like, I want a G-Wagon for my first car. I was like, boy, it's too Hollywood right now. We need to go somewhere. He's mixed and he's half Finnish, and then me.
Okay.
I'm like, you need to get back to my side, my roots, you know, like this whole Hollywood, you want a G-Wagon for your first car. Well, even if I had the money, I would not get it for you.
Yeah, right. Well, you're definitely welcome to Atlanta. Tyler Perry Studios here, and you know they're always shooting movies here.
Are you in Atlanta?
I'm in Atlanta. I am. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I've been here 10 years.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I got a friend in Atlanta. Yay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're gonna. Yeah. I was about to tell you where I'm gonna live.
Right. we can talk offline.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I know you.
My address. No.
Right. Exactly. Right. You really get around. Well, I know that you're new to social media, but where can everybody keep up with you so we can see your next chapter play out?
Say it one more time. I'm sorry.
I said, where can we all keep up with you on your social media and your website so we can watch your next chapter play out?
So you want my social media username or whatever?
Yes.
Oh, it's Beverly the Supermodel. At Beverly the Supermodel, is it? I don't know.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But just Beverly the Supermodel and then BeverlyPeele.com. But that's work in progress right now because I took it down since I wasn't working, and now that we're putting a whole bunch of stuff together and my past photo shoots, the upcoming photo shoots, and I'm doing like a YouTube channel and
nice.
All that stuff is going to be like within the next 2 to 3 months. It'll all be good. Like my Instagram is just some couple photos of my family and whatever. My daughter took like every picture off. She was in charge of my Instagram. Every picture off, like all of my pictures, and she put like 30 pictures. I'm like, this is so boring. Like, next, I want to go to somebody else. Like, no showing, no ass and nothing like that. But it's stay tuned, definitely stay tuned. But it's Beverly the Supermodel is my Instagram name, and I don't do Twitter. I don't even know what a tweet is.
Right. We'll let you.
I'll be going to school.
We'll let you figure out Instagram first, then we can move over to Twitter.
Yeah, definitely. I'll get some lessons from you.
All right. Well, to the iconic Beverly Peele, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Wish you continued success.
Thank you for having me.
Been a pleasure.
Anytime. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
All right. Well, listen, for more information about Beverly Peele, which you already know her, but go to our website, thestephennightshow.com. We'll be right back after this.
As we go, soft, like this. As we go, soft.
Push me off the edge, I drop the ledge on him. You heard what I said, drive a wedge between us, I quit and drop the sledge on him. I don't beg for bread or hold my breath, ain't scared of death. I take what's mine, speak my mind, so I dare the rest. Set the gavel down, I'll be the judge, the mallets out. When I swing it around, I'm taking ballots out. I got a bookcase of stories, a state of crooks, case balanced out. Bandits from the courts, now get out of town. I joined the band of undercover bandits, loud and proud. Sledgehammer swinging 9 to 5, working callous crowd. Tired of malice from the palace, always looking down. Hammer on the flags in the clouds, means the crooks in town. Dancing with the troop, liking how my ballads sound. Should've sent police, instead they send the brightest talent scouts. Who the hell am I supposed to challenge now? All my enemies envy me now, invalid pals. Just a manic man of work, and I work for the man. Come on man, can a man give a man what he's worth? Got a hammer in my hand in the turf. Man deserves a return from what he plants in the earth.
I carry hammers, snap, snap, no cameras, all you hear is clap. Clap, body slaps, the pavement made men. You should respect this Muliano, my Pisano. Got my back like a spine, no Donnie Brasco. The desperado, crack your head with a bottle of Reposado. Death before dishonor is the motto. Like you wanna challenge the best, then look in the mirror. Guess I'm only topping myself, my vision gets clearer. For many years wanted to be Nasir's peer. What I failed to realize is that I'm already here. Hear me, the rap's John Henry, lacing the track, locomotive should steer clear me. I leave you bent, be slumped in your Bentley. Ice more folks than your neighborhood, Mr. Friendly. We got the energy, monster this industry. Synergy of beats and rhymes on mad frequency. Step to my enemies.
baby. I am on a quest to find my pursuit of happiness. I've been traveling for some time, yeah, for my pursuit of happiness. Love by my side and hope I won't die. Let's shine up through the darkness, and I know that I will find my pursuit of sometimes wanna break down and cry of how life is so many curveballs to throw me on. But Lord knows I need to carry on, 'cause He knows I got a purpose in this ever-changing world. I'm talking about I am on a quest to find my pursuit of happiness. I've been traveling for some time, yeah, for my pursuit of happiness. With love by my side and hope that will die. Let's shine up through the darkness, and I know that I will find my pursuit of happiness. I am on a quest to find my pursuit of happiness. I've been traveling for some time, yeah, for my pursuit of happiness. Love by my side and hope that won't die. I shine up through the darkness, and I know that I will find my pursuit of happiness. I'm on a quest to find my pursuit of happiness. I've been traveling for some time, yeah, but my pursuit of happiness. Love by my side, but hope that won't die. Shine up through the darkness, and I know that I will find.
Welcome back to the Stephen A. Show. Adam, how's it going?
It's going well, Steven. How are you guys?
Doing very well. I was looking at your Instagram. Y'all been doing some good things, huh? You and the wife.
Yeah. We went to not this past weekend, but the weekend before we were in Cuba.
Okay,
for, the
nice.
weekend.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that was really fun. Unique experience. Highly recommend if you get a chance.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll let you and Chike I know you have a lot to talk about, so I'll let y'all take it away.
Yeah, thank you. So I'll start us off, and I'll start with a little bit of sad news, actually, first, before we hop into movies. You might have mentioned this already, but John Singleton, director of Boys in the Hood, passed away today.
Yeah, very sad.
So that was kind of a shock at the age of 51. So, try to stay healthy and do what you can. So sad to hear that. And then next, I saw the end game. So after 10 years, and if anyone hasn't heard about this movie, then I'd be very surprised, but it's the fastest to $1 billion. It smashed multiple records over the weekend, and this is the end of the Avengers, and it kind of closes out, some of the main character stories, but you're really getting a catch-up from Infinity War when Thanos snapped his fingers and dusted half of the universe. So it's a runtime of 3 hours, and I liked it. I was surprised. So I will say this: they could have trimmed it up. I still complain about how movies are too long. They definitely kind of milked a few scenes, and I think the beginning was a little slow for my liking. I really got into it once things started happening. But be aware that it's also a superhero movie, so you got to suspend give that suspension of disbelief. You have to know that these characters are magic in a sense. It's got these superpowers. Don't think logically too much. Don't worry about the storyline too much. Just go in and watch the movie. Have a good time. If you're a fan of any of the Marvel movies, you'll enjoy this. I will say this. Infinity War, I feel like you didn't have to watch too many of the previous ones. This one, they do some things where you would be it would be an advantage to know some of the previous movies, pretty much all of them, because there's some parts that I didn't even recognize that I'm sure was a reference to a movie that I haven't seen. But overall, yeah, it was fun. This is exactly what you're going in knowing. I will say it is kind of sad at the end because this is, of course, a 10-year story, so it's like reading a book series and getting to the last chapter or playing a video game that you've played for a while and finishing up. Kind of this is the end of an era, and we'll see what happens next. But, recommend. Oh, did I lose you?
I'm
No,
here.
I'm here.
Oh, good, chicken.
Okay, sorry.
So they're saying that this movie may topple the greatest movie of all time, which is Avatar. They're saying that there's possibilities that they could topple that 2 whatever billion dollars, which is a crazy number for a movie, but it has the potential to do that. What do you think?
Well, it's tough. They have such a high, they started off strong, and I'm still surprised how Avatar did so well. But Avatar also was the benefit of being one of the first 3D IMAX or 3D movies, maybe even IMAX, and ticket prices were a lot more for those premiums. So it gives that a big boost. I hope it does. Avatar, I did enjoy when I saw it in the theater, but it is a forgettable movie in my opinion. So I would like something maybe different to kind of be on top. And if anything has it, it'll be this movie that took 10 years to kind of get going.
So I had an experience in the theater a couple times where I became emotional to the point where my eyes were welling up. And I felt some type of way about that. Like I felt like ashamed a little bit. And I was like, why am I feeling this way in this movie about this movie? And when it happened the second time, I really got a little angry with myself. So I tucked it away and, I went about my business. And then as I was starting to talk to people about the film that have saw it, they told me, oh, I cried. I'm like, you did? And they was like, yeah, I did. And I'm like, wow, so it wasn't just me. There were moments in the movie that, like, you were on that roller coaster ride. And just for those people that doubt us geeks, some of us have been with these characters since we were children. So these people have been with us, even though they're characters and they're fictional, they've been with us our whole life. So watching them on the silver screen and seeing that storyline embodied in the flesh, it's really emotional. And then, some of the things that happened in the film, I just thought it was excellent. I really did. They did better than I thought, honestly. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm just hoping that it sets a standard for the Marvel movies in the future.
Yeah. I think, and I don't know if we want to talk about any spoilers or not, but I think some of the things they did, I hope they fix in the new series or the new kind of cast of characters, because some of the stuff was still a little cheesy on my thoughts. But again, it's a superhero movie, so that's the understanding you have.
Yeah. And I will say this, for those people who aren't like hardcore Marvel comic book fans, there may be some things in the movies that you may not get, even though you've seen the other movies, and it's because there are features that are from the comic book that we automatically know because we followed the comic book. And that's just like a Marvel giving a nod to the fans, the ones that really know the story. So that's Marvel just like, thanks. No offense to you, just, the hardcore things.
Yeah, this is definitely a fan service movie. Again, the fans will love it 100%. So, again, check it out. Be aware. I took the warning of not drinking any water before the movie. I didn't want to step out.
Yeah, man.
But I tell you, exactly. And it does flow well, but again, the beginning, there are some parts where like, I could have taken a bathroom break, or I could have stepped out here and there, and so, definitely check it out.
So I guess that's 2 thumbs up from us.
Yeah, exactly. The beginning again was slow for me, but once I got going, it was fine. And then I know we want to talk about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, well, thoughts?
Well, before y'all get into that, can I tell you this? My best friend called me yesterday after Game of Thrones, amped up. That's one of the best shows on TV. I don't even watch Game of Thrones. That's the best show on TV. I'm going to go watch it again. And I said, okay, I'll go watch it again. But y'all couldn't take it.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious. Well, some spoilers, heads up, because, I don't think Game of Thrones is as, sacred as the end game, but I was kind of let down by this episode. So for those unaware, this is the big battle of Winterfell. This is the one that the past 2 episodes...
Explain yourself.
Well, so, first of all, I don't want to have to turn up the brightness on my TV to watch an episode, and it was too dark. There was a lot of things going on in the dark that really, it was fine, you can make do with it, but you could hardly see things. I know it added to the dramatic parts. I did like when the Khal Drogo and his people, the Dothraki, going in with the flames and then them all disappearing. That part was cool. I will say, logically speaking, why would they do that? Like, why are they running into the battle? They're all bad planners of battle, first of all. And then it turned into like a horror movie in the middle of it, with Arya trying to run around, and I was like, come on. I mean, we get that, you're trying to fill 80 minutes, but if there's a battle going on and you're having like no sound, everyone's creeping around. Now the White Walkers are all of a sudden kind of creeping around too and moving very slowly, and that felt a little like they were filling up space. And I will say, I do like how it ended. But this is what we've been watching since the very first scene of the series. The very first scene introduced the White Walkers, and we knew they were a threat. And now, with the end of this episode, there's no more threat. I mean, this was kind of this is their Thanos moment, I felt like, and now we're kind of like in the post-credits from here on out with the next 3 episodes.
Yeah,
so that's how I felt.
I wasn't expecting for this battle to be over this quick.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting for it to be drawn out a little longer, like a little bit more drama to it. I guess some of the parts that are, as you say, the fillers, is, I guess, something to take us on that ride. Because they didn't really have anything to give us a journey, as far as our emotions are concerned. A slight distraction, if you will. But, yet in the end, as the flip happens, you felt one way and then you quickly felt another way. I go for stuff like that. So I was all in. I bought into it.
Okay, so that's fair. Again, I try not to do too much logic, but when the Night King is being breathed on with fire, and I get it, he might not have to burn, but when his clothes aren't even singed, what has he got? Magical clothing too? It just seemed a little like, come on. Anyway, it just threw me off. Khaleesi can go and get burned, and her clothes all burn off, and then the Night King gets hit by a dragon, and he just doesn't even have a singe on him, and you're just like, come on, let's for a show that takes so many things in detail and seriously. And again, that's me just thinking about the logic too much, but I thought that was a little bit of a cheesy moment.
I got you. You would make a great director.
Yeah, I would be pointing out things like this, and it's a shame because the director of this episode also did a few of the other ones. He did Hard Home, which is when the wildlings are escaping, which I thought was a good battle. He did Blackwater, of course, like the first big one. So he has some good accolades to him, but yeah, I guess they just kind of gave him a mission, and he tried to do what he could. And I mean, again, it was hard to see because it was so dark, but we're now to the next stage, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see. Anything coming up for you?
So you know what? To kind of switch the sad tone of these movies, I can't wait for this Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Everyone's grown up being aware of Pokemon, and this movie looks like a kind of a fun little like riff on the children's game that Pokemon is. So I'm kind of excited for that one.
Okay, I was never a Pokemon fan. I never gravitated toward that. It wasn't something that caught on with me. So I'm definitely feeling Gemini Man. I think that's going to be a good one. And look, Will Smith looks like he's in his zone. What he does best.
Yeah, it's good to see him back in form.
Looking forward to that. Yeah, and then of course, the Phoenix X-Men. Looking forward to that.
Yes, we're due for another superhero movie. I don't know, we just saw it, but this one again, Avengers was such it had so much weight to it that you feel like you need kind of it's like watching a very sad film and you're like, okay, let me watch something funny or something different just to kind of help my mood.
So many people are already talking about seeing it for a second time, so yeah. But that's it for me. Yeah, me too. I can't commit to 3 hours again. Can't do it.
No, exactly. They need to split it up or trim it down.
All right. Anything else?
No, anything for you, Steven? You see anything?
Did I see anything? No, I haven't. Not recently. Although I did see, I was on this is old though. When I was in March, I saw, what's the movie about Queen?
Oh, Bohemian Rhapsody.
I saw that, and I saw The Wife with what's her name?
Close.
Yeah, Glenn Close. I saw that. Both of those were really good, right? Both of those were really good. I want to say I saw something else, but I don't know. But I remember those being really good. But I haven't seen anything recently.
Okay, good. Glad we're here to help you remember.
All right. All right, guys. Well, as always, thank you for letting us know what to save our money on, what to spend our money on, and what not to. And I hope you all have a great week.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Right back up.
I represent the Messiah, nailed to the cross. No one told me that it cost to be the boss. Now I see clearly in the land of the lost. Cause of that right there got me connected to the cause. For real. See that right there got me connected to the boss. Yeah. Now before I speak, I think about the pause. Come on, don't get it twisted, I'm still riding for the cause. Now I see clearly he loved me through it all. Cause of that right there, I look back at the fall. No questions asked, you brought me through them all. Took a few daggers, but you cushioned the fall. When I didn't even know I had it in me at all. For real. For that I give you glory, quick to tell your story. The sun watching my back, the father going before me. I'm from a nation where they no longer adore thee. My prince of peace that was risen on free. What you know about that NASA
Glycerine that washed me clean, made it real clear, painted the whole scene. Gave me the breath of life, the risen Christ. So profound that he had to look twice. You are who you say you are, the I am that I am. I'm so blessed to be a part of your plans. It's in my worship, so of course I can't sit. He took me from the streets to the pulpit, real spit. Took a few daggers, but you cushioned the fall. When I didn't even know I had it in me at all. Come on, for that I give you glory. Quick to tell your story. The son watching my back, the father going before me. Took a few daggers, but you cushioned the fall. When I didn't even know I had it in me at all. Come on, for that I give you glory. Quick to tell your story. The son watching my back, the father going before me. I stand in your presence. You examine my efforts. You seen it all, done it all. Cause of that I'm perfected. Man wanna judge me, haters wanna nudge me. Just enough so I can see how much you love me. Yeah, 7 they lied to us, misused our trust. And now they wanna trip when they find out the donkey bucks. I seen it from both sides, yeah, walk in pride. So while at your feet I cry, lay it aside. I saw when I was weak, Yahshua was strong. I wanted to limp, but instead you carried me on. Told me you heard my cry, heard my plea. Had to walk by faith and not sight cause I couldn't see. On top of that I had to turn the war into peace. For real, y'all, turn the other cheek. And you, my whole lies, wipe the tears from the baby eyes. Wanted dead or alive, cause he parted the sides. Came too far to go back, know about to fall flat. This time when you hollered, I had to holler back. No one promised tomorrow. We approached the final hour. Her job well done before I entered the shower. So fresh and so clean was that Nazarene. Unblemished, rooted in love, Nazarene. Self-examination got to come clean. Your dagger, your dots, man, so routine. Took a few daggers, but you cushioned the fall. When I didn't even know I had it in me at all. For that I give you glory. Quick to tell your story. The son watching my back, the father going before me. Took a few daggers, but you cushioned the fall. When I didn't even know I had it in me at all. Come on, for that I give you glory. Quick to tell your story. The son watching my back, the father going before me. Yeah. We took a few daggers. They threw a few darts. But we held our peace. Giving them all the glory.
Welcome back to the Stephen A. Show. Janera, how's it going?
Great, Stephen. How are you?
I cannot complain. I know you got some wonderful things for us. Mother's Day is coming up. I'll let you take it away.
It is, and yes, it's a top priority for me. So a lot of my stuff is going to be geared around Mother's Day sales, or places where you can buy Mother's Day items. So let's start off with Saks Fifth Avenue off Fifth. You can shop there and get $30 off of your entire purchase of $150 or more. So of course, Saks Fifth Avenue off Fifth is the outlet store. So also Pandora is having, they have sales on tons of charms and jewelry. I started my own little Pandora bracelet. So I just wanted to put that on out there. Everybody who loves Pandora or is thinking about starting a Pandora bracelet for their mother, now is a great time to do it because they will have tons of items on sale. If your mom or you are into craft, if either one of you are into crafting, Michael's is having a spring Black Friday sale. So if you shop there now, you can get up to 60% off of spring and summer decor. Wayfair is having a closeout sale, and of course Wayfair is a lot of, it's like a home goods store, but that's something that you can still do for mom. They're having a closeout sale, and if you shop there now, you can get up to 80% off of select items. Nine West is having a sale, and if you shop there now, you can buy two, get 40% off. So you'll buy 2 pairs of shoes and get 40% off of those shoes. But that would be select styles. So if you're shopping online, which you have to be, mainly because Nine West is mainly an online store now, you have to use code SOULMATES at checkout. Neiman Marcus Last Call is having a sale on their fine jewelry, and if you shop there now, you can get up to 55% off of their fine jewelry. Today is the last day to shop Victoria's Secrets and get pink panties, 4 for $19.95 or 8 for $29.95. Plus, you can get free shipping on your purchase of $50 or more. You just have to use code FREESHIP at checkout if you're shopping online. J. Crew is having a Mother's Day shop sale So if you shop there now, you can get up to 50% off of your entire purchase. Banana Republic is also having a sale, and if you shop there now, you can get an extra 50% off of select styles. And last but not least, Old Navy is having a sale, and if you shop there now, you can get 30% off of everything online with code HURRY at checkout. Or if you shop, you can get if you shop in stores, you can get 20% off of everything in stores. So you're definitely saving more online.
Yeah.
And that's all I have.
All right, they can find all this at budgetshopaholic.com, correct?
They surely can.
All right, Janelle. Well, thank you as always. Have a great week.
Okay, you too. Thank you, Steven.
All right. Right back after this.
I want you more every day. I'll never run out of ways to please you, baby. Hey, I'll never leave you alone. Hey there, lover, you're the one that I adore. I'll never let you go. You're the one that makes me lose control. And you're the one I can never let you go. I need you. I am night, you're the day. You shine like sunshine. You're my golden lady. Hey, I'll never leave you alone. Hey there, lover, you're the one that I adore. I'll never let you go. You're the one that makes me lose control. And you're the one I'll never let you go. You're the one that makes me lose control. And you're the one I can
What's up, y'all? Comedian Anthony Moore here. Make sure y'all stay tuned in to the Stephen Knight Show.
Well, that's our show. I want to thank the wonderful Beverly Peele for joining us tonight. Continued success to you in your next chapter. Thank you all for listening at home. Have a great week and see you next Monday. Peace and good night.
Tonight is all eyes on me. Everything's gonna be alright. And when we get there, I'ma see a pretty